All right. Welcome, everybody. I just found out we're live. Welcome to another Cash Your Nets broadcast. I'm Steve K. I'm one of the founders of Cash Your Nets Ministries. And today we're trying to get banned. Actually, no, today we want to talk about something very important. We want to talk about this banking system, the system of mammon that we as Judeo-Christians are under, or, well, not everyone, but how we've kind of just allowed this thing to swallow us up, to be honest with you. So I want to talk about kind of like the current state of affairs and how our token is looking to end all this nonsense. And what I mean by nonsense is, government overreach, regulations, attacks on churches, attacks on Christians. There's a very precipitous rise in terms of anti-Semitism and attacks on Christians, like anti-Christians, right? They have a problem with us believing God has given us our freedom. This is kind of how it's rolling. And what we're going to talk about today are some real true stories. We're going to back it up with some stuff that's in the news. But at the end of the day, what is happening is we are seeing people's accounts either blocked or frozen or just completely deleted. And this is happening all over the world. And there's a common theme. These people happen to be Judeo-Christians. They're either Jews or they're Christians. And it seems to me that it's a systemic attack. And if we look, Fox News or we're looking at other news outlets, whether it's CNN or Bloomberg, or there's plenty out there that are reporting this giant rise in anti-Semitism. And we want to talk about how Cash Your Nets token, well, it flips the script on this. It gives back control to the people. One of the biggest issues that are happening right now is that people are having a very, very hard time getting their money out of the bank. I mean, they cannot get their money out of the bank. And there's several ways this is happening. One, we see this within our organization all the time, but within our community, people are trying to make wire transfers. Maybe they want to buy a house. Maybe they want to remodel something and they're trying to make wire transfers. And they find their transfers canceled. They find it blocked. If you try to go into a bank nowadays and get 5,000 cash, good luck. I would love for you guys to go into your bank and try to get $5,000 cash and record it, just for entertainment purposes. It's amazing what happens. They will, first of all, they'll say, why? Why are you doing this? Not that it's any of their business, but they're going to ask, why? And are you sure? And is anyone threatening you? And are you being you drugged? Are you on drugs? Do you have any mental disorders, psychological issues? And they're going to say, we're going to not allow you to do this for your own safety, under the guise of safety. And what happens is you got to call a manager, and the manager then will ask the same questions again. And most of the time, you'll have to threaten to close your account. And here in the Netherlands, I am hearing more and more stories of folks saying their accounts are frozen, not just by internet banks, but by large commercial banks. Their accounts have been frozen or they are blocked. In one case, a couple of weeks ago, I sat down with a fella who's looking at our tokens and wanting to buy a large amount. And when I told him what is going on in the banking industry, he said, oh, that happened to me. My bank shut my account down. I was out with friends and I wanted to get some cash and I found out it was blocked. I called the bank. The day later, some person contacted me and said, we blocked your account because you're spending too much money. And his response, like any normal human being's response, should be, but it's my money. What do you mean I'm spending too much of it? I can't spend my money. And apparently it was flagged for these spikes in spending. And when they narrowed it down to what accounts flagged this spike, which places were spiked, it turned out there was a spike in his heating bill. How ironic. And his grocery bill. Ironic, isn't it? But this is what's happening. You have churches that are having a hard time getting loans. You have organizations, Christian organizations, having a hard time getting loans. They're getting rejected, or they're giving you loans with ridiculous terms which you couldn't possibly accept. And the last time I checked, the founder of our movement, in this handy manual here for life, said, hey, don't borrow. Instead, you're going to lend. And I'm not sure how we got that mixed up, but somehow we are borrowing. And man, what happens if you do not pay up? It's atrocious. So let me go. I want to talk about some of the stuff that's happening here. I'm going to go through the CYN token and how does this actually help us out? And Cashnets, we've been doing this for a while. We've over the last couple of years, we've been focusing on helping the body of Christ make an income, generate revenue, with alternative means. And what I mean by that is not looking for a corporate job or a 9-to-5, but starting something at home, starting something by yourself. If you have a vision, you want to write a book, or you want to start a website, you want to start a business, we were the place. And prior to it being called Cashnets, it was called 14-Day Challenge. And the 14-Day Challenge focused on helping people write their best-selling book, start their business, launch their company, launch their courses, whatever their dream is, within 14 days. And we were very successful doing that. And while we were doing that, the Lord really called us. I mean, and I'll tell you, it's a calling, called us to start teaching the body of Christ about blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. And at the time, and in some circles, it's still the case, blockchain technology and crypto was considered a 4-letter word. You would have been better off worshiping Satan in some Christian circles than being involved with Bitcoin. And friends, the ironic thing is that nothing could be further from the truth. It was portrayed by the media, it was portrayed by governments and banks and the media as a place for dark money to travel, when in fact, it is the most transparent and honest form of banking ever created. And it exposes the true money launderers, which are the banks themselves and the governments themselves. I mean, that's what we're dealing with here. Everything on the blockchain is transparent. Everyone can see everything. I will tell you, having spoken and seen many different businesses and business owners and the workings inside a business, I will tell you that executives can be very creative in making it look like they either have a loss or a profit, depending on what they need that year or the following year. You cannot do that with blockchain. You cannot. There's lots of salaries that are hidden for executives with expense accounts and other shenanigans. There is none of that in the blockchain. You know everything. You know how much I get. You know how much Janice gets. You know how much. You could see it on the contracts. It is completely transparent. You cannot change it. You cannot take it. You cannot steal it. And it's just awesome. So we've been teaching the body of Christ on these alternative forms of creating revenue streams, right? Back in the day, it's like, buy a real estate property or something, or an annuity, or, and you make a little bit. We're in a completely different era now. We are in a digital age. We are in a place where this paper money, it's gonna vanish. That's where this is all going. And what has become blatantly obvious is the fact that governments and banks are trying to, with this transparency, comes the ability to track activity at a very hyper level. They can see down to the penny what you are spending your money on and where. And that is why the banks are trying to create their own CBDC, which is a digital currency, which is in fact what it is right now. If you have $100,000 saved in your commercial bank, and you went there and you said, "I'd like to see my $100,000, a pile of money. I just want to take a look at it." You'll realize it's not there. It doesn't exist. I mean, there's no one there. There's no big vault with all this cash and someone's keeping an eye on it. It's not there. It is in a digital format. And so blockchain really is just a digital ledger, a digital set of books. And once it's done, it is done. It is transparent and it is instantaneous. So one of the crimes that I think that the banking industry has done, well, first let me do this. I lost it. Sorry. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and go to another screen. This, dear friends, you may be wondering, what in the name of our Lord is this? Is this some fictitious nonsense, or what is this? 783% annual percentage rate? Is that possible, Steve? Yes, it is, friends. One of the things that I've done is I love trading. I love technical analysis trading. It's kind of like my secret hobby, but it's more than that. It's a passion. I love the prophetic, right? So I love how technical analysis will often prophesy what is about to come in the markets if you do it well. By the way, you should go read a book called The Moses of Wall Street. Ron Tank, fantastic book. Ron Tank, check him out. Some of the stuff he talks about in there is very applicable right now based on what's happening in the markets. I highly recommend that book. But one of the things that happens when you're a trader is if you can trade a certain dollar volume every month, and it's obscene. It's a large nine-figure volume every single month in trading. Well, you get invited to these. You saw it has these VIP stickers next to it. You get invited to these, what I call the table. And the table is where people with institutions with large amounts of money, it's usually an institution, and we were trading as an institution, but you have access to these financial vehicles, which, well, by golly, they're just obscene. These are real percentage rates. This is not a joke. 783% per year. And at this table, friends, are the executives of commercial banks. So a whole bunch of banks and financial institutions like JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America's there, and they are getting a minimum of 600% per year on your money. I've seen it with my own eyes. And that is when I saw that, I thought that's when I realized how evil this system is. Because they are making enormous amounts of money and providing you, or the normal common person, with 1%, 0.5%, 2%. And they, in turn, have access to these vehicles that provide hundreds of percentage points every single year. And it is the epitome of greed. And the God I serve says that's no bueno. That's not good. There's a better way. There's a better system. And that's when Castronets, we decided as founders, as the board, as the team, that we wanted to give access to the normal everyday person to percentages similar to this, 25%, 15% per year, things like that. And that's what we did. We started alternative retirement plans where you can use your 401k, your IRA. Let me go there, actually show you what I'm talking about. This is our alternative retirement program where you can earn 15% per year. No penalties. We take your 401k, your IRA, move it into self-directed IRA. And from a self-directed IRA, most people don't know this, you can invest in a lot of things your brokers don't want you to. Brokers are actually paid commissions to tell you what to invest in, right? They're not doing it because this is what's best for you. They're showing you things that are best for them, the things that are going to give them the highest commission on what they're selling. It's really evil. It is pure evil, pure greed. This allows people, so this is one of the things that we have. We have another one called I did the ARP, sorry about that. Here's our harvest membership. This is our version of a savings program where you can earn up to 25%. Right now it's 15%. You can start with $250 and you can earn 15 to 25% every year. Now, how is that possible? Well, friends, we have access to this. Oh, it went up 825. There you go. We have access to this and a whole bunch of other things. And it's been a very long road to get to that place. And I had a meeting yesterday. No, actually it was this morning with developers. It was really sharing my heart. Me and Janice were on the call and we were talking about how, the rich are just getting richer. And those that know how to make money are just going to make a ton of money. And our heart is really to help the normal everyday person. And one of the things we're doing is issuing this token. And why is that important? Well, the token allows us to create a Bible app. And why is that? That's a whole nother story. But whether you're in Africa or in South America or India or Thailand or Nepal, I mean, I don't care. You got a smartphone like this. You've got a smartphone. They have a smartphone. And they may not have a car. They may not have a job. They may not have a bank account. But I'll tell you what, they have a smartphone. And they are able to access all sorts of things with their smartphone. And one of the things that we want to provide for them is the Bible in their language. Our CYN Bible app is going to come out in 141 different languages, in text, and 40 in audible form. And we are going to reward people with CYN tokens that they in turn can use to purchase things within our community or swap tokens out to purchase somewhere else with their smartphone. If they share Bible verses or they share something they're reading or they make comments, they'll earn more CYN tokens. And if they're teachers, a lot of people in our community are teachers. Well, this is a platform for y'all. Y'all can come with your teaching, put it up into the Bible app, and you will get CYN tokens for doing that. And then people who watch your program or follow whatever you're doing on the Bible app, they will get CYN tokens for following you. And then they'll be able to support you by hitting support and send you CYN tokens. And this, to me, friends, is very, very exciting. And that's what this does. Now, before I go further, I forgot, I'm getting text messages here to remind you of our sponsor. And that is callhippo.com. Call Hippo. Let me go there. Actually, I'll open up a new one. So we've been getting a lot of questions from the community asking how can people get an international number? And well, we have By the way, we're not an affiliate of this program. We're just trying to help the community out. But this program allows you to get a an international number that sends you text messages and voice messages, and you can call on. And the best part about this is you could start for $0, and that is really, really cool. And so at 12 noon, we're going to walk you through how to do this, how to set up your international number for those of you who are interested in setting up an international number. Now, here's our CYN token. And we want to create a biblical system, right? You don't have to be a prophet to know that there's an aggressive woke agenda that has compromised so much of our way of life. There's an all-time high distrust in governments and banks, and the attacks on Judeo-Christian organizations have skyrocketed both physically and financially. In fact, in our appendices, you'll see it's already doubled this year. We did this in March. So in March, the number of attacks had doubled than the previous year. So we are creating an alternative digital financial solution. It's built on a blockchain with smart contracts. This token in our ecosystem, in CashNets, like I said, we have alternative retirement programs, saving programs. We have a legacy program. Let me go show you the legacy program. The legacy program is, well, the best way to explain it is to give you an example. Typically, if a church or a ministry wants to expand, buy a building, expand their building, renovate their building, expand on a project or create a project, what they do is they set a goal. And this, let's pretend it's $1 million. And they go to their congregants, they go to their partners, and they say, here's what we want to do. We want to expand, we want to renovate, or we want to build a hospital here, and we want you to donate. And the congregants or the partners will make their donation for that project, and they'll get the tax write-off, and they'll feel great. And the person or the people managing the project get the funds to create the project, and everyone's happy. In our program, through the CYN token, that same church can now ask for $1 million. The donor will make their donation. They'll get the tax write-off, but they'll also get their money back between 3 and 5 years with interest. Let me say that again. Here's what happens. Donor makes a donation to the building fund. They get the tax write-off. They feel good. 3 to 5 years, they get that back with interest. And that's possible with our token. So that's really, really cool. We're creating an environment free of government overreach. It's going to be decentralized, meaning no one can come in and block your account. No one can come in and freeze your account. No one can say you can't do business here. You can't do business with that person. And that, by the way, is already happening. You are allowed to do what you will with your tokens. Actually, we're ultimately creating a decentralized bank, decentralized economy. And this token is one of the many steps getting there. And it's a great opportunity, in my opinion. So what does it do? Well, this token unlocks access to our ecosystem. Up until now, you can get access to our university level courses. You can get a Bible degree from us. You can get coaching classes, trading classes. You can participate in the alternative retirement program, the savings program, the legacy program. Right? You can participate in all of that. But what we're doing now is everything, all of those programs that we have are now going to be run and fueled with CYN token, CashNets token. And we have a debit card program that's coming where you can use your Visa debit card, convert your tokens, convert your crypto into whatever fiat you need at the point of sale. It's going to give you access to Christian music, Christian gospel. It's going to be able to fund worship programs, art programs. You're going to have access to coaches and education that you won't normally. You would have to just use dollars or euros. Now you can only get access to this with CYN tokens. And everything we're doing is incentivized. So when we have the Bible app or the videos or the teachings, just by consuming content and sharing content or providing content, you will receive CYN tokens. You share the platform, you share the Bible app, you get tokens. You read the Bible, you get tokens. And this is extending into all spheres of life. So we are working with hotels, hotel chains, fitness center chains, where imagine going to your gym and every time you came in, you got a CYN token. And if you got there 30 days in a row, you got a CYN token. If you lost weight, you got CYN tokens. But it goes further than that. We can go into insurance companies, into healthcare systems. And when people lower their cholesterol, they can get tokens. If they lose weight, they can get tokens. If they lower their blood pressure, they can get tokens. And they can use those tokens to subsidize the costs of having health insurance. It's really, really, really endless. Let's see. We have also a staking program. And by staking, what that means is when you get your tokens on the exchange, and it goes live on the exchange October 1st, you can cash it out, you can exchange it for other crypto, other tokens, or you can put it into our staking program. And our staking program is a rewards program. You take our CYN tokens, you put it into the staking program, and we reward you with more CYN tokens at 25% per year. And that's really, really cool. The other thing this does is we can now, with this CYN token, you'll have access to home equity loans, bridge loans, car loans, building loans. It's really, really amazing. So what's the big deal? How can you actually get a good return? Well, from now until April 15th, each CYN token is 3 cents. Normally, our tokens right now are valued at 10 cents. But until April 15th, sorry about that. Sorry, very unexpected. That's actually someone who's helping us with the tokens here in Europe. Let me just quit this. But until April 15th right now, you can get these CYN tokens, which are normally valued at 10 cents. You can get them for 3 cents. And on April 16th, you can get them for 6 cents. And then on May 8th, the final sale, you can get them for 8 cents. And then October 1st, it goes public. So what does that mean? Does that mean that I can buy $100 worth of CYN tokens April 15th, and then April 16th, those same amount of tokens are now $200? That is correct. That is correct. And the October 1 public offering is going to be a big deal. We're going to crowdfund. We've got influencers coming on board. We've got a $250,000 marketing budget just for the crowdfunding and the token offer. So we anticipate this 10 cents really pumping up. This is the allocation of the tokens. So far, about 345 million have been allocated, distributed. And let me just go here quickly. Let me go back here. So there are approximately 30 million tokens left at 3 cents, about that. And I know that sounds like a lot, but when you consider that 345 million tokens have been sold already, there's not that many left. 90% at this price have been sold. Now, what happens if we don't sell these 30 million tokens? Can you get them later? Do they just go to 6 cents? And the answer is they get burned, meaning we delete them. They just get erased. It's called burning, and they could never be recovered after that. And if we sell the 30 million today, then there are no more tokens available at 3 cents. The next available token will be April 16th. We have, let's see, what are the key challenges for us with creating this decentralized economy and a place for Judeo-Christians to thrive and to worship freely and to spend their money freely and to continue with our traditions freely? A lot of it is building this decentralized space, creating this ecosystem. And the token is actually, although it's a really big deal, it's actually a very small part of this giant project that we've been in the process of building since 2019. And so this is our market right now. My heart is to reach just a common person, the person who has like $100, $50, and it's like, well, where do I start? Well, if you have $100, you could start. We could show you how to start and grow that. We've gone through creating enormous security for anti-money laundering, know your customer. And so when you go to our coin, actually our token, let me go there. When you go here is CYN Token. As you can see, in 7 days, it goes to 6 cents. When you click this, you're going to put your name in here, your email rather, and it's going to send you a code. And then you're going to put your mobile number in, and it's going to send you a code. By the way, speaking of mobile number, call Hippo, y'all. It's pretty easy. You can add a number like this. You pick whatever country you want, and you can get SMS. So let me go back and pick a different one. I'll pick the United Kingdom, and you can get voice and SMS here, mobile. And here you can get voice and SMS just like this. And you can start with the free trial. So I really like that. Anyway, we went through a lot. And this is where the bulk of the coding is. It's in in fraud prevention and transaction monitoring, and making sure we're not taking any black money, any dark money. We're taking stuff that's clean, and from people that value our values. This is our liquidity. We've got a bunch of money in Forex, Bitcoin, and you saw those high yields, 600 and higher. This is our team. The link to this is below. And I suggest you go and look through our team, vet us, vet who we are, and what's the bottom line? Bottom line is you can get CYN token at 3 cents. October 1, it goes to 10 cents. It starts at 10 cents. And that, I think, is a nice opportunity in acquiring CYN tokens at a 70% discount. And then having the option to do what you want October 1st when it starts at 10 cents. And we think it's going to, I know it's a biased opinion, but we think it's going to go much higher. And that's what we have for you guys. The banking industry, you've got to, 3 years ago, we were telling people, because we had already been in the system and we had seen how evil it is, we had said, you got to get your money out now, because they're going to make it more and more difficult for you to access your own money. They're going to start restricting you from even spending your money at places you want to spend if for some reason they don't have a certain ESG score. And lo and behold, that is exactly what is happening. And I would say this is kind of like the final call to get your money out of the bank while you can. And you could do a Google search on Operation Choke Point. There's Operation Choke Point with the Obama administration. Now there's Operation Choke Point 2.0, which is from the Biden administration. And it's systematically designed to prevent people from accessing their money, or more importantly, putting their money into crypto or investments that the government or banking industry wouldn't approve of. So when blockchain and Bitcoin first came out, the banking industry freaks out because it's so transparent. So they create this whole propaganda on it's dark money, it's evil, it's not safe, knowing full well that this is the beginning of the end for them. But when you see hundreds of trillions of dollars just leaving banks, I mean, it was just a bloodletting. All these banks were just losing capital. And where was it going? It was going into crypto. It was going into these exchanges. They then said, well, we can't beat them. Let's start making regulations. And people found, of course, people want freedom. So they created alternative ways to get their money out of the banks and into crypto and into real estate. And they finally said, okay, well, let's just make crypto legit. And we'll create these ETFs where they can invest in crypto and think they have freedom, but you still have to go through the bank, right? You still have to go through their system. And it's an evil system. And the Bible is clear in Revelation that we are we're not just to not be involved in this type of system. We are not to put up with it. Look, search Revelation. Do not put up with that harlot, Jezebel. Do not put up with it. And the first way of not putting up with it is we're making it an alternative. We hope you join this movement. God bless you. Today at 12 noon Eastern, be on the lookout for a Zoom link coming into your email or your WhatsApp or your mobile. And we're going to help everybody on board. So if you're having trouble, you're getting messages pop up when you're trying to get CYN tokens, different type of messages may pop up. We're going to show you how to get through all of that stuff today at 12 o'clock, and Janice is going to help. God bless you guys. See you at 12.